Macbeth, the the Thane of Glamis. Macbeth was a great Scottish nobleman who commanded the army of King Duncan of Scotland. He was called the Thane of Glamis, and he belonged to the same family as the king. King Duncan argued with some of his noblemen. They refused to obey him as their ruler, and a war broke out between them. The noblemen were helped by the King of Norway, who landed in Scotland with an army to fight King Duncan. King Duncan sent Macbeth and Banquo, two of his most faithful generals, to attack disobedient noblemen. After a terrible fight, King Duncan's men defeated their enemies, and the King of Norway was forced to ask for peace. In the battle, Macbeth fought with great bravery. All the soldiers and messengers talked about him and praised his conduct. King Duncan wanted to reward him by giving him a new honor. The two generals, Macbeth and Banquo, were returning from the battle across a wild and lonely part of the country. Suddenly, three evil looking old women appeared in front of them. These old women were witches. Macbeth was frightened by this awful sight, and he asked the witches who they were. The answer he received from the first, which was "Welcome, Macbeth, welcome, Thane of Glamis." The second, which cried, "Welcome, Macbeth, welcome, Thane of Cawdor." The third, which cried, "Welcome, Macbeth, welcome the man who will be king." Macbeth did not understand these words. He was the Thane of Glamis, but he knew he was not the Thane of Cawdor, and he knew he was not the king. He was so shocked by this that he could not speak. The witches then turned to Banquo and spoke to him. "You are less important than Macbeth, and yet important. You will not be so happy, and yet you will be happier. Your children will be kings, though you will not." Macbeth wanted the witches to tell him what their words meant, but it was too late. They disappeared as quickly as they had come. As Macbeth and Banquo stood discussing these strange words, two noblemen sent by King Duncan rode up to them to praise them for their victory. They told Macbeth that the king wished to reward him for fighting so well in the battle and had therefore given him a new title, which was Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth could not believe what he heard. When he was sure it was true, he began to think about the other words the witches had spoken. Could he really become king of Scotland? Banquo remained calm and warned Macbeth not to trust the witches too much. He realized that Macbeth was allowing himself to think dangerous and wild thoughts. But Macbeth could not stop thinking about what the witches had said. He wondered what he could do to make their words come true. He was shocked by the ideas he had. Perhaps, after all, if it was his fortune to be king, there would be no need for him to do anything. After Macbeth's victory, King Duncan told him that he would like to visit his castle. This would be a great honor for Macbeth. When Macbeth heard this, he asked to be allowed to go home at once to prepare for the royal visit. Before he set off, he sent a letter to his wife, Lady Macbeth. In this letter, he told her about the witches and what they had said. He also told her that some of the witches' words had already come true. He encouraged his wife to believe that she might one day be Queen of Scotland from that day on, Macbeth could think of nothing else. When Duncan told everyone that his elder son Malcolm would be king after him, Macbeth wondered how he could deal with this difficulty.